If you have a form with more than one page, it will more than likely have a flow to it. Now, the flow within a form is usually decided by the rules. So, of course, you've added your fields, you've added your permissions to say who will be notified when this page needs filling in, who can access that page to fill in that section of the form. The final stage is your rules, and that is really connecting everything together. So as you can see in this form, we have a total of 8 rules applied. 3 to IT approval, 2 to IT approved sent to manager, and 3 to the manager approval as well. Now, the rules themselves are really just assigned to an option within your form. So it's very much a case of if you have an option where it says, do you approve or reject of this request? You would add a rule to approve to say it's now going to be an approved form. And you would apply a rule to reject to say that if the user therefore clicks reject, the form is rejected and of course it's not approved. Now let's have a look at this IT approval page and let's just run through the rules that are applied there. Clicking on the little sort of spanner icon, it will take you through to your rule page. Now, we have 3 rules here. One is, of course, is it approved? Yes. Then it goes through to IT approved sent to manager, which is another page of the form. It's not being rejected. The next one is IT approved? No. So it's a rejected form. Okay. Now, the reason why it's not got this rejection option here, the reason why it says no, because you might think, well, shouldn't it say yes? It will say yes if there is a reason to go back with. Okay, so if you want to trigger a notification through to your users to say there is a rejection message, etc., then you would say yes to rejection. This will just reject the form and the user who filled it in would therefore need to start another one, okay? Or it could be that an email is sent separately to say this is why it was rejected. The final one is IT approved. If it equals more information, then it goes back to the first page, which is the change request, and therefore it is a rejection because it's going back with the content, which is why it was rejected. Okay, that content is why it was rejected. So let's have a look at how these were set up. So if I click into IT approved, it was very much a case of the question stage is the page of the form that you are applying the rule to. So your rule is applied to a field. So you need to access the question stage, which is the page where that field belongs. So this one is IT approval. The question is the actual field where the options are. So the options are, of course, approved, reject, or more information. So we are going for the question of IT approved. We're then going for it's equaling this option, but of course you do have other options available such as like, greater than, etc. So this one is equal to. The value, so these are the options within the question. So yes, no, or more information. So we're saying that if they select yes, then it's sending to what stage? Now it could be that it doesn't have an extra page and therefore you just say, well, if they say yes, then it's an approved form, okay, and you're happy it's complete. But for this form, it's going to go through to IT approved sent to manager, which is another page of the form. So that's the direction it's going in. It's not being rejected back and therefore there isn't a rejection message to have. And it's very simply saved. And that's how you apply a rule. Now, just to show you slightly differently, let's have a look at this final one. Because of course, the second one is very much a case of going through the exact same options again, but therefore choosing the other option of no, and therefore it's a rejected form. So for this final one, if we click in, we've got, again, the question stage, which page that field is on. The question is the field. The comparison operator is equaling the option of more information, and therefore we're sending it to the change request. So that is actually the first page of the form, okay? It is being rejected back, and therefore the rejection message is the other field on that page. So when we looked at the question, we said IT approved because that's the field where we're choosing the option. The other field on that page was reasoning. And we always say that if you are going to have a form that can be rejected based on an option that someone chooses, always put in a reasoning sort of text area or text box, depending on the size of reason, because you can therefore say, yes, it's being rejected back. So it's going to go back to the change request page. But there is also going to be the rejection message, which is the reasoning field. So therefore, it's a unique reason every single time the form is rejected. Once you're happy, click on save, and you therefore now have your rules applied. Clicking on the cross, of course, to come out of that, we can therefore see that we have our rules showing there.